lot of things on the IDA agenda this morning. Jasmine, could you please take the roll call for the start of the LDC meeting?
Tim Jean,
Present?
Mark Doyle,
Present.
Kathy Bauer,
Present.
Amy Bonadiri,
Present.
Jamie Picone,
Present.
Don Sagliano,
Present.
Al Torjani.
Present.
Thank you, everybody. First on the agenda is the conflict of interest disclosure, and I will state that I do have a conflict with the Nuvance Mater. I serve on the Vassar Hospital Board of Directors, which is a Nuvance affiliate. So at that time, I will leave the meeting and ask Mark Doyle to chair it from that point on. Does anybody else have a conflict of interest?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I do have a conflict of interest with Nuvance because we are still working at the Vassar site project.
Thank you, Al. Sarah, we will have still have a quorum at that point?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, proof of meeting notice.
Yes, it was published on November 5th.
Okay. Bills and communications, anything for our attention?
Nope.
Okay, just again, I've said this before, but under bills and communications, I do receive copies of requests for or copies of the ledger showing what bills are being paid, and I do initial each page and sign them as part of the due diligence after it's gone through the office process as well. Approval of minutes for October 2nd and October 14th both. I hope everybody's had a chance to take a look at those. Is there any changes or amendments that need to be made to those? Okay, I will look for a motion to approve both the October 2nd and the October 14th minutes together, if that's okay. Could I get a motion to that effect?
Al Torgiani, I'll make that motion on both meeting minutes as written.
Thank you, Al. Can I get a second?
Jamie Picone, second.
Thank you, Jamie. Okay, Jasmine, could you take a roll call vote, please?
Tim Jean,
In favor?
Mark Doyle,
In favor.
Kathy Bauer,
In favor.
Amy Bonadiri,
Abstain.
Jamie Picone,
In favor.
Don Sagliano,
In favor.
Al Torjani.
In favor.
Thank you, everybody. Report of the treasurer.
Good morning, this is Marilyn speaking. Looking at our balance sheet, we have approximately 2.5 million in cash available to us. Looking at the P&L, we're showing a negative 415,000 at this time, but I would like to remind the board that we had foregone the 451,000 from the county. So that's where the loss is coming from. Other than that, nothing unusual. Everything is as expected it is to be. Does anyone have any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question for
Yes.
the administration fees for year to date through October is 166,750. Do you anticipate any other fees this year, or is that going to be the number for the year?
So
Sarah?
yeah, this is Sarah. So the BARD bond has not closed yet. So we anticipate them closing before the end of the year, and in which case we will get additional admin fees.
Thank you.
Approximately how much would that be, Sarah?
About, I believe it's about 250
Okay.
or more than that. I think it's more than that.
Thank you. All right, any other questions? Could I get a motion from somebody to approve the report of the treasurer?
I'll make that motion. Don Sagliano.
Can I get a second?
Al Torgiani, I'll second that motion.
Okay, Mark Doyle was the first I heard. I'm going to acknowledge him. And could I get a roll call vote, Jasmine, please?
Tim Dean,
In favor?
Mark Doyle,
In favor.
Kathy Bauer,
In favor.
Amy Bondieri,
In favor.
Jamie Picone,
In favor.
Don Sagliano,
In favor.
Al Torriani.
Favor.
Okay, committee reports. Sarah, is there reports of committees other than finance and audit?
Just the finance and audit this morning.
Okay, so why don't we do that first, and then we will also need to discuss appointing Jamie as well. Is that correct? Okay, so first, can we get Kathy Bauer? Would you like to give us a report?
Marilyn's going to do that.
Okay,
This is Marilyn speaking. Our bylaws require us to put out an RFP every 3 years for audit services. We did that. We sent out 7 requests for proposals. 3 firms expressed initial interest and 2 firms submitted proposals. RBT was one of those firms. RBT has charged us for the past 3 years $12,000 per year. For 2020, they are proposing $12,500, 2021, $12,700, 2022, $12,900. We've also worked well with them for the past 3 years, and they have much experience with our agency. The other proposal we received from Prager Metis, and their proposal for 2020 was, and 21 and 22 was $20,000 for each year. The committee would like to see a recommendation, an appointment of RBT CPAs for our audit services for the next 3 years for the LDC. Does anyone have any questions?
I would just like to again ask the same question. Was there anything in the proposal from Prager and Metis that pointed out any additional services that we may need or suggest that we may want to consider that would make their proposal worth discussing?
No.
Okay. Any other board questions? Okay, there probably is some benefit to having the same firm looking at both of our organizations, I would think as well.
And Tim, this is Kathy Bauer. Another reason, the primary reason that we want to stay with RBT is the experience, the associations that our auditors that we deal with from RBT have with New York State municipal finance law.
Okay. All right. Unless there's any further discussion, I would like to ask somebody to make a motion to approve the recommendation of RBT as our auditing firm for the next 3-year contract period.
This is Kathy Bauer. I'll make that motion.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Jamie
Don
Picone,
Sagliano,
second.
Okay.
Thank you, Jamie. We have a second. So Jasmine, would you please take a vote on the recommendation?
Tim Dean,
In favor?
Mark Doyle,
In favor.
Kathy Bauer,
In favor.
Amy Bondieri,
In favor.
Jamie Picone,
In favor.
Don Sagliano,
In favor.
Al Torriani.
Favor.
Thank you. All right. And then like we discussed in the IDA, the Finance and Audit Committee would like to add a new member, and it's been recommended that Jamie Picone be added to that committee. And if I could get a motion to that effect, that would be appreciated.
I'll make that motion. Don Sagliano.
Thanks, Don. And can I get a second?
Mark Doyle, I'll second that.
Thank you, Mark. Jasmine, you want to take that vote for us?
Tim Dean,
Favor?
Mark Doyle,
Favor.
Kathy Bauer,
In favor.
Amy Bondieri,
In favor.
Jamie Picone,
In favor.
Don Sagliano,
In favor.
Al Torriani.
In favor.
Okay. So at this point, I'm going to have to recuse myself because of the Nuvance conflict, and I'm going to ask Mark Doyle to take the meeting from here and adjourn it when the meeting's agenda's been finished, if that's okay. So Mark, are you all set?
Sure, thank you, Tim. Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
everybody. Bye now.
Thanks, Tim.
Okay.
Okay,
Al's not logged off yet. Okay. All right.
Al's not quite gone yet.
Okay. Now Al's logged off. Yes.
Perfect. All right, Sarah, so what's the news with Nuvance, and do we have any representatives or just an update?
Yeah. So Nuvance is here today. We have Karen Darcy, David Cates here from Nuvance to make a presentation on their audit filing.
Yes, hi, good morning. Thank you guys for allowing us to attend again. And I promise you, this is a much nicer news and update that I have to give to you guys today. We're not here to ask for any extensions. We finalized our audit in the time frame that we had promised. We finalized it on October 30th. We issued all our audit reports, and they have been made public on Emma, which is the public website where you post your financials. I can also send a package to Sarah so that the committee can have their own package. But yeah, no, we're really just here to give the update and really to say thank you to the committee for being so patient with us and allowing us the extensions that we needed to finalize our audit.
Wonderful news. Glad to hear it and congratulations. Don Capolino and Sarah, I don't know if there's any need for, board documentation since the documents are on Emma, but maybe you have an opinion on that.
Yeah, those are usually, if they're there, we will double check that and we'll report to the board, but I'm sure they are.
Yes. They're posted for all the applicable time periods. We did a restatement of 2017 and 18, and we issued 2019 final audit. So yes, it's all public. It's all presented to the public.
Okay, great.
Congratulations. I'm sure you're very glad to be past this point.
Yes, we are extremely glad. And, literally the next day we had to jump straight into fiscal 20 audit. But we're ahead, so it's really good. Do we have any questions or anything?
Yes. So I believe Don Sagliano has a question.
Yes, Acting Chairman Doyle. And maybe the question is for Council Don Capolino. Is there any formalized writing or compliance issue that we have to do with regards to the receipt of the financial? Or is this just perfunctory under the requirements of the underwriting of the bonds for their annual compliance? Is there any letter that needs to be issued? Is there any action that has to be taken by our board?
No, I mean, this is just a peculiar requirement in these documents as we talked about before. What happened was we generally don't have this kind of default issue in our bonds because we're just a conduit and it is up to the bondholders and the trustees acting on their behalf to declare defaults or to raise any issues concerning the obligations that they have about continuing disclosure. What happened here simply was that because they're connected with the Connecticut group, Chifa, and that lender required it, and they just kept the documents similar. So there was this provision that said that that they had a time limit on when they could file their this particular audit report, and they didn't do it timely because of the trouble they ran into. And it said if they failed to do it by the stated date, that if they failed to then pursue it diligently, then the issuer, in this case, the LDC, could declare a default. Well, they did pursue this diligently, and they kept telling us that they were, but we had to wait because they were trying, we weren't going to then hire somebody to go in and look at this and see where they were. We took them at their word, and they did diligently do it, and they have filed it finally. And you know, their reasons stated made sense as they went through, and they explained it each time how they got to this particular point, and now they've done it. So the LDC now really can't declare a default. If there are any other problems, the problems generally deal directly with the bondholders' claims against them, if they have any. And I don't see or know that there is anything of that nature. But this was just a peculiar situation we found ourselves in, and we were just granting extensions, but made them come in and explain to us what was the delay. And that's all.
Thank you, Don, and congratulations to Nuance to getting the proverbial load off the back.
Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate your patience with us and, you know, allowing us to come and present to you on this issue.
Is there anyone else with a comment or a question? If not, thank you very much indeed for attending our meeting and updating us with the good news. And Sarah, is there any other business that we should attend to before we adjourn?
So no business, no other business.
Happiness indeed.
Yes.
So with that, I'd like to adjourn this meeting of the LDC, and thank you all very much. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.
Come on.
Thank you.
Bye, take care.
All right, take care.
Bye.